That's right. It's Thursday Thunder, and it's brought to you by DraftKings. Stay tuned to hear what DraftKings has to offer. Someone on Twitter was like, hey, stop with the DraftKings thing. That's not funny anymore. Stay tuned to hear what DraftKings has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Thursday Thunder, Juju Gotti is in the building. What do you got for us, Juju?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
What's with the lag? Is this championship hangover? Is that what's going on?
I'm trying to understand. There's a lot of moving parts here at Metal Art Media. Thursday Thunder, presented by DraftKings, not Krings. The first leg of the Thursday Thunder. I got the Indiana Fever are coming to Atlanta to face my dream tomorrow. Now, Ryan Howard went down last night with an ankle injury. Dog, it's an untimely one, especially for such a big game. I know there's going to be so many people there tomorrow. We got they got their own arena usually, but they're renting out the Hawks where the Hawks play tomorrow, so it's going to be a big deal. And I think Caitlin Clark and the team and Leah Boston playing so much better right now, like night and day from the beginning of the season to now. I think that the Indiana Fever will cover tomorrow. They are at plus 1.5 against my dream. I'm taking the Indiana Fever, sadly. But Ryan, get well soon. I love you. And for my second leg, I'm hearing the show. I'm not sure if y'all doing a bit. I don't know if y'all are lame or not, but the Florida Panthers are up in the Stanley Cup right now, 3-2. And that's all that matter. I don't give a damn about a billboard. I don't give a damn about a reporter who don't cover hockey that lives in Florida. Y'all care so much about this stuff. Be confident now. Now's the time to show confidence. And I'll show some goddamn confidence in them. If y'all ain't going to do, y'all going to cry all day about some damn billboards. I'm taking the Florida Panthers tomorrow, plus 1.5 goals, the spread, the puck spread, whatever you call it, against your Edmonton Oilers.
You had no doubt over the Celtics, right? Zero doubt?
I said it now. On the episode, I think you were sitting next to me. I said, I think the Boston Celtics are going to go in here and clean these boys up. Boston in 5. Now, if Amino Hassan would have said that, y'all would have sucked his. I mean, y'all would have been on his ass for 20 months. If Charlotte would have said that, oh my God, y'all would have parade. If Mike Sherwood, oh my goodness, Mike Sherwood would have said. Don't get me started. But the third leg of the parlay, I'm taking Vladimir Tarasenko with over 1.5 shots on goal tomorrow.
Wow, Juju, knowing puck, going with the veteran to show up. That's why you brought him to this team. I like that, Juju.
Exactly, because in those moments, he's the one that followed me. I know that Chucky's been having a rough series, but he woke up. That save, brother, I jumped up in my living room when that saved because my heart dropped, and then Chucky came. Oh, my God. But unfortunately, Jesus was right around the corner. But neither here nor there. I think that performance last game shows you that, the Florida Panthers were lackluster. They were up 3-0, and they weren't taking it serious. But in Sunrise, Florida, I feel like they got the juice back. And I'm very confident they'll go into Edmonton tomorrow and bring home that cup.
Let's go, Juju.
Thank you, Juju.
I needed that. I honestly needed that.
Yes, we needed that juice. Thank you, Juju. Juju, did you watch what was going down on Amazon Prime last night? Kendrick Lamar had his pop-out. It was a Juneteenth concert. And I know some people were following along on social media, a lot of high-profile moments. What was your takeaway from what we saw last night?
Brother, I had never seen so many gangsters in unity with so many different flags. It's so many different hats that mean so many different things. Like, to the naked eye, you think that's a Cincinnati Reds fan. Look at him. Oh, he loves the Cincinnati Reds. Pardon me.
I wasn't going to point out that there was one prominent color on stage. And it was black. It was black. There wasn't a white dude on the stage, from what I can tell. Usually Michael Rubin finds his way in there, but he didn't make it happen.
The camera guy. He was white as hell, white as snow. Salute. Yeah. He got one of the most epic pictures in the history of epic pictures. Salute. I had some homies on stage. Salute. That was nothing but love. And to see all that love and all that just unity all come together because of the hatred that they all share towards Aubrey Graham. Holy moly.
Yeah, I kind of thought that this thing might have been over and done with, right? You had the ugly thing happen over at Drake's house, and then everyone kind of stepped away from it for a while, but this concert was always playing, and if you thought for a second that Kendrick was going to back down, he removed that doubt from the very first song. My main takeaway from this performance, outside of it being a moment in time, right, was what you know about Drake is a lot of his identity is tied up in how friendly he is with other celebrities, how much he idolizes NBA players, and those celebrity friendships mean a lot to him. And to have that building so packed with so many VIPs that are out there dancing on the dude's grave, that had to cut him especially deep, Juju.
Right. DeMar DeRozan had commercials with Drake. Him and Will Ferrell had the same State Farm. He was a Raptor for so long. And to see him come out and represent in Compton, because he's from Compton. That's what people forget. They forget DeMar from Compton. So all of that Drake stuff he probably couldn't wait to come out here and walk on stage to this and see, and of course, the Brody. It made my heart smile so much to see Russell Westbrook up there actually in dancing for him, because now it matters. He do this every game, but he out there with YG. They clicking their heels. They doing new crib walks I ain't never seen. I'm like, yes, this is love, bro. And Drake unified the West. Salute to Drake, bro, because I think Kendrick, for real, this is why I say, like, okay, I'm gonna start here. J. Cole, he was at the house last night probably sipping on a Mai Tai watching this with his feet kicked up with some thong flip-flops. You feel me? But I still have my opinion of J. Cole. If you want greatness, this is the spoils of greatness. This is the spoils of going into the championship and to the layer and slaying the gladiator. You get to walk out with his head on Compton and just have all your homies circle it. And I think that is so valuable to be able to do. And I get it. Mental Health Month. Don't get me started. Men's Mental Health Month. I already appreciate the salute to J. Cole. But Kendrick got this man out here talking about some damn Wagwan Delilah. If you don't get your punk ass out of here with some Wagwan Delilah during this, you finna do Wagwan Delilah now?
Was that real or was that AI?
That's AI.
I think
That's
that
AI.
had to have been
it's
AI.
Gotta be.
Sure. I don't give a damn. He supposed to come out and contest that with the veracity.
The problem was that it was so believable that he might have actually done that.
Right, bro. It's so bad right now for Drake. I think that the only thing that he could do right now, bro, is to keep his head down and just keep it moving. Put out a hit, put out an album that's gonna go. Nobody says that Drake is not gonna sell any albums anymore. I just think that you look so lame right now.
Just give him the ring.
All of
just give him Tupac's ring back right now. Whatever. Right. Just give him the ring back. He opened the door. He opened the door for Drake.
And
Tony,
throw Pharrell's jury into it too. Just throw Pharrell's jury in there. Just give it back.
Tony, you watched last night, right?
Yeah. What I was gonna say was this. I have a very hard time thinking Drake can come back from this. I understand he's Drake. I understand he's got the Midas touch. Whatever he touch turns to gold, platinum records, all that. But when you get exposed like this, not from what they've been saying on the tracks perspective, but from hey, I clap back, then I clap back again, then I clap back again, then I clap back again, and again, and again, and again, and you didn't do nothing about it. You put out 3 songs that were okay, one of them being AI with Tupac and Snoop Dogg that you had to take down. Then you take all the disses off your IG, and then Gangteenth comes out, Gangchella comes out, okay, and Kendrick puts on everybody who you said, I get more love in your city than you do. Then your city comes out and shows that much love for a guy who clearly won. I had it 10-8, Kendrick. Now it's like 10-1, 10-0,
wow.
Kendrick. Like, talk to me. Like, I'm having a really hard time thinking that Drake can come back from this. Not only that, because of the fact that all the people in the industry are like, let me kind of get my distance away from Drake. He's got his couple people that he'll do songs with. He already did an album with 21. We're not going to see another one of those, right? Another collab
Street
album.
cred.
I don't know.
Travis Scott.
21 has been backing him publicly. Like, he's booted people from IG Lives that take shots at Drake. Like, he went on that co-headlining tour. I think he still has 21.
But we're going to see another 21 collab album? Like, I mean, yeah. We've kind of been there, done that.
I think he bounces back from it. Like, I think ultimately the consumers, they'll have their opinions, but if Drake comes to your town and he's got all those pops, like, there's a level of infamy, and it's not like Drake was actually built his reputation on being one of these guys that can hang with a Kendrick Lamar. He puts out pops, man, and he tried to.
But he did the same thing.
He did the same thing that Greg Cote did to Connor McDavid.
Sure.
And he woke.
Let's not even do that right there. Let's not even bring that here. Let's keep that with Dan. Dan ain't here right now. He's standing up ass. Why is he standing up today? I don't know.
It's an alpha thing. It's an alpha thing.
He knows that we stand.
He knows knows that we stand, and then he wanted to start standing, and then he ruined our sight lines, and it makes us sit down. It's an alpha move, right. Juju. What he's trying to do.
It's so lame. Whatever he's doing is lame. But at the same time, every time I see 21 now, every time I see Titty Boy, 2 Chainz, every time I see Drake work with one of these people who Kendrick said,
Lil Baby,
you work with 21, right? Lil Baby about to get street cred. He thought you was safe, but he lied. Right, Future, bro, he went down a list of why working with these people are going to forever poison and tarnish him. Even The Weeknd was in the crowd concert last night bopping his head.
Dude, LeBron, too.
He dissed him. Know what I'm saying? He dissed The Weeknd on the song. Yeah. The Weeknd, I heard Weeknd playing with his nose now. And Bob went there like, yeah, sure am.
He's like, yeah, no, I'll wear that. Yep. True. But I think LeBron was very savvy because he was at this show. He's also very well known to be a friend of Drake, and Drake appreciates that relationship plenty. There's no videos of LeBron dancing along to that song. LeBron certainly didn't go on stage. That would have just absolutely nuked him. What'd you make of Dr. Dre doing the intro? Setting the table for that.
Beautiful. It was so beautiful because the first thing about Dre being on stage rapping is, oh, man, Dre still got it. His breathing was still together. He still hit every word.
He was sweaty.
You realize, right? You're like, whoa. I mean, please don't throw glass rocks right now in that glass house y'all living in down there. Please, it's a lot of...
This is a sweaty house.
It's a lot of... Exactly.
Climate
Let's not
change.
do that. That's what I'm saying. It's Men's Mental Health Month right now. We're not going to take shots at any man right now. Please.
What's interesting, he's a billionaire. He doesn't need to be doing this.
That's what's beautiful. It's billionaire said, you know what? I have to be there to stomp on Drake. Not only am I going to be there, I'm going to introduce it. I have beats. I have things that Drake is going to need to sponsor for the rest of my career. I would love a Drake co-sign on some of these beats inner ear. These are beats by Dre's right here. Drake he could sell some of those, but you know what? Nah, I see dead people. I'm going to whisper and I'm going to play into it. It was so beautiful to see the West. Now, everybody was saying, where was Snoop, dog? You know what I mean? To say, and that's a question that Uncle Snoop he got an answer for. I'm pretty sure. Ain't nobody saying Snoop was ducking smoke, but that was a big thing. I was like, oh dang, he especially coming out to that song. I thought Snoop was finna bring his ass out there, but you know what I mean? I don't know what happened. But Dre was beautiful on the stage yesterday.
Ju, as a recording artist yourself, you've done many concerts. You've been out in a crowd before. When you see Kendrick do it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times the same song where the crowd is just giving you encore after encore after encore. Like, can you put us there? Like, what is it when you're on stage and the crowd's just feeling that vibe so much that you do it 4 times?
Bruh, that's ultimate power. That's the ultimate, bruh, because the first time he performed it and stopped on, brother, okay, we have to just say this right now. Never has a song about sold or been this popular. This song is about the file.
He lived the memes. He lived the memes. He lived the memes of the DJ saying, PDF file.
Right.
And he also surfed out on A minor. He surfed out multiple times.
Oh my God, A minor. He just let it ride. I was like, are you really finna just like what's happening? And then I thought he was gonna just. They not like us. No. One more time. Bring it back. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was he's already dead.
Right, and then he brought the girls on stage, the dancers. I was like, okay, that's his little cousins. Let's get it. Oh, again? Wait a minute. Who's he bringing up now? He brought up Los Angeles. That was the goal. And I feel like Los Angeles showed you why Kendrick is the #1 rapper in the entire world. Salute to J. Cole's mental health, but you didn't want a part of this fight, so don't ever think you're going to be mentioned in this sentence again. Salute, though, to J. Cole.
You will forgive me if in my imagination I had too many limits to imagine a scenario in which Juju Gotti would complain that we are talking too much about how Greg Cote has infiltrated the Stanley Cup final and the conversation on this show around the Stanley Cup final. I thought he would want more Greg Cote in all the places that we can insert Greg Cote.
Well, PK Subban joining us next.
Okay, well, very good. We will talk to him in a little bit about the fact that just this week he has flip-flopped on who the best player in the world is. I don't think you're allowed to do that from game to game. I learned something yesterday that I want to see if I can verify with you guys, because the aforementioned New York Post often reports things like this in order to get people agitated on what language is in this country and what restrictions are in this country. But the largest pilot union in America is now advocating for the removal of masculine generalizations from the airplane. Manpower, the word manpower, and then a word that I had no idea was a masculine generalization, cockpit. I did not know that that's what that meant. I don't think that that's what that means. I still don't believe that a cockpit is simply a place where you will find a man because he is the owner of a... But that's what's being said by the largest pilot union in the United States as people object everywhere.
Anything on the Boeing 747.
Or the murders.
Yeah, or like
my bad, the deaths.
The fake titanium.
Who did you have being murdered? What happened
No,
there?
you
mean the whistleblowers?
Don't worry about it, Dan.
Tony is the internet.
I like that as a character. Tony just being the entirety
Well,
of
that
the
character's
internet.
also playing starting quarterback for the New York Jets.
It's not
probably
murder, it's death. But yes, it would be better if Boeing handled the flying door parts and the general cheapness that is ending with the death of people.
Am I on this algorithm, or is it just happening more? It's very clearly happening more to planes.
What, doors getting like blown off?
Well, just like violent turbulence, and I know climate change has an aspect to it that plays a part in this, but yeah, planes. I'm stuck on this algo in which I see something horrible where people think they're about to die on a plane every day now. There's like some horrible story of Dutch rolls and prepare for water landing. That's not something that you ever want to hear on a plane, and it just seems to be happening more.
Would you guys be able to find for me whether or not the root of cockpit is somehow, because I did not have any idea that cockpit was a masculine generalization.
I don't think we're right on this. I'm reading here that cock is an Old English term for small boat. And swain, which is the servant, the term used to be coxswain, as in a boat servant. Over time, the title led to a steering compartment of smaller boats where the coxswain sat. That area became known as the cockpit.
But the ALPA, the Airline Pilots Association, apparently had a guideline released in 2021, and especially masculine generalizations have included the cockpit because, for example, many women have heard variation of "it's called the cockpit for a reason" from male pilots when suggesting, "Hey, you don't belong here with us."
Well, that's awful.
Yeah.
Well, why don't they just isolate those instances?
So it's not the name; it's how the name is used.
Yeah, they're saying replace it with flight deck, just so that way
It's called the flight deck for a reason.
Flight dick.
Deck. Well, that was unnecessary, Jeremy. It was already there for everybody.
Sure.
Did you guys, I don't know whether you have aged out of this because this is before my time too, but one of the things that we missed in being out yesterday is being able to celebrate the life of Willie Mays. Willie Mays not remembered in the same way that Jackie Robinson is, even though he endured some of the same things, a 24-time All-Star. Do you guys have any link to what it is that the name Willie Mays means at the time that baseball was the national pastime and he was the most electric player? Again, 24-time All-Star in the sport.
I don't even think you're old enough to have like Willie Mays memories. But,
I'm not.
Yeah.
All I remember is Willie Mays stumbling out of the batter's box as a Met, which is sort of one of the seminal things that's pointed to, like Muhammad Ali against Trevor Berbick in the Bahamas, of an athlete holding on too long.
I know he's the benchmark for any great catch. Any great catch in baseball is always compared to the Willie Mays catch. And the entire Barry Bonds experience, once he started hitting for power, and Willie Mays' presence around that is my own connection points to Willie Mays.
As a kid who grew up like as a total baseball nerd, loving the game, loving the stats because they mattered at the time in a way that they don't now, it was easy to make the case that Willie Mays was the greatest baseball player of all time. And when you were every single World Series, every single time there was a huge play made, like Mike said, it's compared to his catch. When you look at all of these stats of these guys, it's Hank Aaron and Willie Mays are really the two greatest players that existed in every single metric. And then Willie was someone who was around the game all the time. Every time there was a big moment, Willie Mays was trotted out by Major League Baseball as a representation of all of the best things that the game could be on and off the field. And you saw that celebration online when he passed away, almost similar to what we saw with Bill Walton, where people were just truly celebrating the human being that he was.
Do you know how many All-Star games, and I'm asking this question, I don't know the answer to it, that LeBron James has made? Because saying someone is a 24-time All-Star doesn't even make sense to me. I don't know if Tom Brady was a 24-time Pro Bowler or not, nor would that feel the same as 24-time
20
All-Star.
for LeBron.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that someone could end up playing for that amount of time. I wanted to ask you guys before we head back into Panther talk about what has been reported here locally about the Celtics celebration. I saw that Travis Scott got arrested here in Miami for trespassing and disorderly conduct. I saw that Justin Timberlake got arrested, and we've got a mugshot here in the Hamptons. I've seen some of the reporting on this, some of the details that the police officer did not know that it was Justin Timberlake, did not know the name Justin Timberlake, did not know.
That was Page 6 gossip that originated. It's just in a time where it's hard to find out what's real or not. That's
Correct.
Where that came from.
Thank you. That is the New York Post as well that we're doing that from. The New York Post, say what you will about it, it tends to be credible, even though it has its huge tabloid influences and political influences. But that report was that Justin Timberlake muttered under his breath to a cop, a young cop who did not recognize him or know his name, that this is going to mess up the tour. And then the back and forth reportedly was that the cop said, "What tour?" And his response was the World Tour.
I don't want to make light of this, but this is a damn good-looking mugshot.
Outside of the fire red eyes.
The lighting is spectacular.
Outside of the red eyes that give you away.
Oh, those are red eyes? I don't even know.
Yeah, no, that is not one martini or what he claimed.
He claimed one martini.
He claimed one martini.
It could have just been a long night.
Well,
A
clearly
big martini.
It could have been one huge,
Just a giant
It could have been a
martini.
fishbowl.
Maybe just stressing ticket sales. I've heard they haven't been great.
Are you talking about a martini like those drinks used to be on Ocean Drive, where you just get a bucket of drinks that have beers upside down in them? When you think of that red
That'll
eye,
be $38.
the red eye is incriminating, right? Like it's not you.
Allergy season.
Sure,
Dan,
those
you
aren't from
never know.
tears.
But did he have a ring light for this mugshot? Is
What
it-
kind of camera did they use too? It's like HD.
Different in the Hamptons.
It is an exceptional mugshot.
Yeah, he looks great.
It's clean, and to the degree, that he looks drunk, it's only in his eyes. Like in
a
fact,
little on the cheeks, a little on the cheeks too.
if it weren't his mugshot, though,
I feel like if this was an album cover, we wouldn't say anything.
that's true. I think it should be an album cover. I think that we should figure out how to do that. But has there been any reporting on the Celtics celebration in Miami? Because I would think if they all flew in at noon yesterday, my guess is that there would be photographic proof of them.
Oh, come on with this.
Wait a second. He was wearing a Panthers jersey?
No.
Settle down, internet.
I would think that there would be some photographic proof of Celtics partying in Miami.
Haven't
Why-
really seen it. But again, I'm on the algorithm of planes falling out of the sky.
We're also all just basing this off of a whiteboard that said flight to Miami at noon. Like, that could have been for Brad Stevens and, like, two other people. Like, it didn't mean they're all here.
No, but I saw Missoula. Did he stay in Boston? I saw celebrations of him in Boston. I really didn't see any of them actually celebrating in Miami. I do know that they landed in Miami. Andy Slater reported that they even took the same chartered flight that the Panthers had taken.
Missoula is making the interview rounds. I don't think he's convincing anybody that he's any more of a genius than he was before this playoff run started. Are you guys doing anything with the fact that the Celtics have now passed the Lakers in total championships, and for some reason no one's counting the in-season tournament that the Lakers won?
I don't care about 18 banners. Again, from my mind, that's their second banner, and they've tied the Houston Rockets in terms of title prestige in my lifetime. The 18 banners mean nothing to me. I can understand how it means something to like someone close to 50 because they were around for more of those. Means nothing to me.
Have you been avoiding the coverage the way that you used to?
I scroll past it. Like I turned off the game. Didn't want to see that. I'm a Heat fan. I don't like the Boston Celtics. I dislike them very much. I think that they had a fairly lucky, even though they were very clearly the best team in the NBA this season, I didn't get to see them get tested in ways that I had hoped to have that doubt totally removed. I would have liked to have seen them actually rise to an occasion and be challenged a little bit more. So no, I don't want to watch any of this stuff. It bothers me.
The other thing too is there hasn't been anything really unruly, and that's what usually makes the rounds on social media is people drinking out of the cup, people just acting crazy, and then you have Jason Tatum who's just cosplaying all the other championships beforehand, and it's like if you don't have your original thing, your own thing, it kind of gets swept up, and then you see the Justin Timberlake thing, you're like, oh, I
imagine like the celebration inside of Boston, because that's happening. What is that happening today?
No, Friday.
Friday, like that stuff. Championship parades always find a way to, like Mike Malone bothered me last year.
The only celebration video I saw was a bunch of white Celtics fans thinking that they saw Jaylen Brown because there was a black guy in a Celtics jersey.
I did get that one. That
was
video.
it. That's the only video I saw. Maybe it's because my algorithm knows I'm a hater.
I mean, we couldn't sound more like haters than asking again and again for the Celtics to not be so good that nobody tests them.
What's up, PK?
What's up, gang?
How's it going, man? Thanks for joining us. You sound good. You look great.
Joining in the robe, too.
Hell of a flight over yesterday, but I got through it.
Yeah, something scary happened on the plane?
Nothing scary. I think everybody was a little bit scared when I was face down in my seat, but other than that, no.
You got caught sleeping. It's a weird way to sleep. Who sleeps on their nose?
I think what had happened was I had a nice lean, and then at some point, I lost touch with the outside of my seat. And Emily Kaplan, who sits beside me, I'm sure she was avoiding me at all costs because I was leaning over halfway into her seat, and somehow I think I was moved. Somehow I ended up face down. So, the guys had fun with it, and as they should. But I was out cold. That was not staged. That's 100%. That's a real picture. That's something that I'm going to have to understand. It's going to live on forever. And I'm happy. I'm happy about it. It is what it is. Sometimes you just get caught slipping.
I'll ask you again, who sleeps on their nose?
I don't know another person who does that.
I don't. So. Put it on the poll, please.
I don't.
Put it on the poll, Juju, at LeBatardShow. Do you know anyone who sleeps on their nose? What can you tell us about the robe that you're present? Is that Four Seasons? That looks like a fine quality robe.
It's a Fairmont. It's a Fairmont here in Edmonton. Fairmont has the best beds, best robes as far as I'm concerned. I mean, every time I sleep in one of these beds, I get a crazy shutdown, and the robes are A1 robes. So this is Fairmont stuff right here I got on today.
I want to play for you here some sound that we delighted in the other day. Somehow I'm getting blamed for takes from Greg Cote that I simply don't endorse here. But let's play this sound here for PK and for the audience.
I think the Conn Smythe Trophy, the MVP of the playoffs, should go to the best team in the playoffs, and that's the team that wins the Stanley Cup. That's my opinion. But there is no question, Dan LeBatard Show included, anybody else, that this guy is the best player on the planet.
Now, I've got to yell at you because you told us the last time you were on with us that Barkov was the best player on the planet.
No, I said Barkov was the best two-way player on the planet. He ain't the best player.
That's different.
He's not.
Good clarification.
It's different.
Yeah.
So is Connor so much better at offense that he's the better player in the world, even though he doesn't play defense as well as Barkov?
Well, first, Sasha Barkov is one of my favorite players to watch, not only because of what he does on the ice, because of some of the charitable initiatives he's also involved in off the ice, which a lot of people don't really know about. So I know some people from Sasha's team because I used some of the same people when I was playing. His game, there's no one like Sasha Barkov in the league. The closest player that you can maybe say maybe it would have been Cote, in his heyday. But Sasha Barkov is by far the best two-way player in the game right now. It's not even close. But when it comes to Connor McDavid, cut everybody, take everybody off the table. He stands alone with his skill set and his ability, and now his leadership skills that he's showing on the biggest stage in the world for his sport, one of the biggest stages for sports in the world. It's separating himself from a lot of people, and actually not just separating himself from the rest of his peers, putting himself in a category with all-time greats. So, unless you are doing that and doing it the way that he's doing it, because he's doing it statistically, and then he's doing it with the eye test, right? So he gets the double thumbs up. He gets the double thumbs up. Statistically and with the eye test, he's been absolutely remarkable. So he's definitely the greatest player in the world right now, and I think he's going to go down as maybe the greatest when it's all said and done, his skill set. I mean, Wayne Gretzky's Wayne Gretzky, but Connor McDavid, I think there's a place for him on Mount Rushmore when it's all said and done.
This has been a difficult series to break down and try to rein in the emotion, because when it was 3-0, that probably wasn't the deserved result to that point. And now people, understandably, when there's an 8-1 on the board and when you go up 3-0 in Game 5, you're going to overreact probably the other way and think that Edmonton has full control here. What do you expect in possibly the next two games? Is this series going to settle down some? Is rationale going to play out here a little bit, or are we just going to swing wildly like we have been thus far?
Okay, well, Connor McDavid's play has played a big role in where the series is now, right? The fact that they have an opportunity to do that. But it's not just him. We go back to Game 4. Warren Fogle, Holloway, Connor Brown, Darnell Nurse, who else chipped in?
Janmark, yeah.
Matthias Janmark. Their depth players played phenomenal. Their depth players came out of nowhere. And that, to me, was the biggest change in the series. Forget Bobrovsky for a second, because Bobrovsky's going to be Bobrovsky. Goaltender's always going to be a little hot and cold. I'm not worried about it. He's elite. But when the other team's depth players, when the Edmonton's depth players come alive and become impactful players in the series, find their confidence in their skating legs, that's trouble for Florida. Because it's a lot easier to have to focus on a couple players to key on. And really, that's what they had to do in the first three games, as far as I'm concerned. Edmonton played great, but keeping Connor McDavid and containing them and really eroding at their confidence on the power play seemed to be happening game in and game out. That's why I said I thought this thing would be over in 4. I just didn't see the confidence throughout the team. Connor was going, but not everybody else was. Well, in Game 4, that changed. Everybody else got going. Everybody's getting confidence. And when you're playing like that, when the adrenaline starts pumping and you're playing loose, all of a sudden now those bumps and bruises, you're not feeling them. All of a sudden now those heavy legs, after 3 weeks of playing postseason hockey, don't feel as heavy anymore. And now Stuart Skinner's seeing the puck like it's a beach ball. So and then couple that with the greatest player that we've seen in my generation, engineered player who's now on the world's biggest stage, who has an opportunity to create history, who's going into every game getting more and more confident. It's a bad recipe for the Florida Panthers. That's the issue right now. So the only positive thing that I would take from them is, there's definitely more pressure on Edmonton. To win those 2 games and then come and lose Game 6 on home ice would definitely be devastating. So there's going to be some pressure on them in Game 6. But the other positive thing is, where's Leon Draisaitl? Leon Draisaitl has yet to find his game in the finals. It doesn't mean he's been bad. He just hasn't been Leon, and he needs to be elite. And I think in Game 6, if he doesn't find his game in Game 6, I think this thing could still be over. I think Edmonton's going to have trouble closing this thing out without Leon Draisaitl putting his fingerprints on a hockey game in this series, unless Connor McDavid continues to put up 4 points a game, which is possible. So, that's the series in a nutshell right now. Now you're looking at possibly 2 games, game by game. Game 6, wow, what a game. This is what we want in hockey. This is the pressure we want on these players, and I think we're going to get the best out of all these guys.
What does hockey want? If I ask you, does anyone outside of South Florida want the Panthers to win?
Well, I'm a fan of the Florida Panthers team because of the way they play the game. I love their style. I love their physicality. I love their coach, Paul Maurice. I love Bobrovsky. I love Matthew Tkachuk and his leadership. I love that they are a team. I do. And I've watched them go through it. I watched them go to the finals last year and get in, and I wanted them to win. I feel very similar to the Edmonton Oilers this year, the way that I felt towards the Florida Panthers last year and wanting to see them get more in the finals, but it just didn't happen. And I think now it's very difficult to find your game when you're not fighting for your life. Edmonton's been fighting for their dreams and hopes the past 2 games. It's difficult to match that desperation. This is all experience that the Florida Panthers are learning now. So for some of those players, remember, they had 8 guys that weren't in the finals last year that did not play. Lusterino was on that team, did not play. All of those guys, are gaining that experience right now. Edmonton's got some experience on that team. Corey Perry scored a big goal. Darnell Nurse has been around a while. So they got some experience on that team. For the Florida Panthers, I definitely would love to see them win. But Connor McDavid, man.
People want to see this crowning achievement. People want to see him have that moment because of his greatness.
You're going to have to beat the Michael Jordan of hockey today. You're going to have to beat that guy, and it's going to be difficult to do. Guys are going to have to play their best brand of hockey. Florida did not play well enough in Game 5 and did not play well enough in Game 4. Connor McDavid was the best player on the ice, and Edmonton was the better team. That was not how the first 3 games went in the series. So Florida's got to change that, and it starts with their depth players. You cannot allow Edmonton's depth players to come out and outwork you in a 60-minute game. Well, Connor Brown is unbelievable on the penalty kill right now. He's the best depth player on both teams.
Well,
it can't happen.
You mentioned the depth players, though, and a lot of these depth players for Florida since Game 3 have found themselves on the ice with Connor McDavid, because one of the adjustments that's gone understated, I think, in the coverage is Chris Knobloch figured something out, and he's trying to get McDavid on the ice as much as humanly possible when Barkov is not. If you're Paul Maurice, do you up the time on ice for guys like Barkov and guys like Forsling, who's already proven in this series that he can go half the game on the ice, because McDavid is absolutely seizing on the time that he's on that ice without Barkov?
McDavid played, 24 minutes last game? I think it was 24 minutes.
7 or 8.
That was like one of his... Well, how much was it?
No, he said 7 or 8 because that's what Greg Cote thought. It doesn't matter. It's about 24 minutes. He's playing a lot more minutes than he has played. He's playing enough minutes that you would think fatigue would catch up to him, and especially they're playing him long bursts at the end of games.
100%. And don't quote me here, but I believe last game was like one of his lowest. I think it was 24 minutes, and that was the lowest that he had played. I think of the series. Don't quote me. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's 24-37.
You've been quoted. It was 17
Okay,
minutes
there
in
you
Game
go.
4, but that's only because it was such a blowout.
Yes, correct. So, guys, he's not getting overworked. I'm watching him. The back check that he had on Kyle Okaposo last game from his own end, he's driving down the wall. That's one of the best back checks I've ever seen in a playoff game. And he's doing everything else right now. So when I say this is their best player and this is their leader and he's playing that way, guys, he's impacting the game in every single way. Defensively, offensively, he's intimidating. Believe it or not, the Florida Panthers are intimidated by this guy every time he's on the ice. You asked me about Coach Knobloch getting McDavid on the ice as much as he can without Barkov on the ice. Well, Paul Maurice is going to make his adjustments, but it is a long series. He knows that this series, I'm going to tell when it was 3-0 and he's watching his team play, forget Edmonton. When he watches his team play, he knows what's going on. This guy has coached more games than anybody else in the National Hockey League. He's not going to lose his composure. He knows it's Game 6, Game 7. They're up 3-2. They're still in control. He knows that he's got some cards that he hasn't played yet. So we'll see what happens. In Game 6, there might be some guys that don't leave the ice in Game 6. There might be, right? Forsling may not leave the ice in Game 6. Ekblad may not leave the ice in Game 6. Barkov might be getting more time. So, but you can't do that every game. You have to make sure that guys are still fresh. Like McDavid only played 24 minutes. He's fresh. He's as fresh as he's going to feel. So the game within the game is definitely going to be something to watch for, definitely in Game 6 and the adjustments that both coaches make.
Coverage starts from Edmonton on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with The Point on ESPN. The game starts at 8 p.m. on ABC. Thank you, PK. It's been good talking to you.
No problem. And, Dan, I'm not blaming you. I wasn't blaming you. I wasn't blaming you or your show. I was just, I can't listen to somebody today at any time. Listen, I understand people are fans of their team, but Connor McDavid's the face of the league, and I don't promote any hockey player. As a guy who just got removed from the sport 2 years ago, I would never, ever talk about a player the way I talk about Connor McDavid if it was not the truth. This guy is the best hockey player on the planet right now. He's the most talented, he's the most skilled, and now he's one of the best leaders in the game. You got to respect that, win or lose.
You're not. You're not blasting me, but clearly Steve Levy is. And again, I've not endorsed this point. Look at this here. You tell me that Steve Levy's not coming specifically after me.
Connor McDavid saying it now, and he's doing it on the biggest stage. Leave buckle up.
Yeah, I'm buckled already.
Don't get me going. He's on the world, this guy.
I think overrated. Wait, did someone say overrated? What's going on? Dan LeBatard.
That's obvious.
Oh, my goodness.
That elbow room glow on Steve Levy.
Thank you,
That
PK.
was great. Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I'll talk to Steve about it. Let me iron some things out. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
When Miguel Rojas gets a single hit in a baseball game, the Dodgers are 21-0. They have won every game when Miguel Rojas, Billy cannot be happy to see Miguel Rojas, who was a linchpin to everything the Marlins are doing, now being 21-0 with the Los Angeles Dodgers whenever he records a hit. You guys say, you allege that I do not care about the Panthers. I am physically more tired than I usually am because I've been standing all show. And I will admit,
It's like you're on the penalty kill.
I will admit something that that you guys will delight in, which is my wife has been surprised on 3 separate occasions during Panther hockey. And you guys have made fun of me for a long time because in a sports bar about 10 years ago, maybe a little more than 10 years ago, you claimed that on a Udonis Haslem dunk in the playoffs, back when I was scared of every result, that my objective ass secretly did a minor fist bump to cut through what is normally very repressed joy. 3 times during these Stanley Cup playoffs, my wife has been startled because she doesn't care about the hockey that is on the television because 3 times a goal has been scored suddenly and 3 times I have hissed, fuck yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So you claim I don't care. You claim I don't care.
I've never related to you more.
Yeah, man. There you go.
You claim
There you go.
you claim I don't care about this team because I don't care the way that you do about whether or not you've got, the 4th line is what you want it to be or not.
So after the game settled down and you finished celebrating those shorthanded goals for Edmonton, how did you transition with the rest of it? Did you level off like when
I meant to ask Subban
when Rhino got one right back, or you're like, all right, no, we're in for the long haul, boys?
I meant to ask Subban about that stat of Edmonton or Florida being -1 when it's on the power play.
We should have asked if we're allowed to decline because I don't think we have an answer to that yet.
Are the walls in your home still bouncing off F yeah after Corey Perry put away that wonderful assist from Connor McDavid?
You guys are going to head into tomorrow night feeling how?
Vibes have turned around. Like we realize that we've been operating from a pretty scared place because we've never been here before. But momentum is gathered. We got some absolute monsters at our hockey bar. We are engaged, and we're going into this game with the full intention of celebrating our first championship on Friday night. We want a weekend to party, and we think we have full belief that the Florida Panthers are going to bring the effort worthy of a Stanley Cup champion on Friday.
I'm pretty excited.
You don't sound it. It sounds a little insincere.
I'm very excited.
We got a juicy fourth line. Nick Cousins was skating around, morning skate. I wanted Nick Cousins out here, the Rat King. I wanted him and Lawns out there. We need some energy.
What jersey we going with, Mike?
So I have – you want to build out my outfit?
Yeah.
You know I'm superstitious. I have a Yager throwback that I haven't lost in this postseason with, and I wore it to the hockey bar one time already. I have a hoodie that we won Game 3 with. I was very understated for that one. I can do that, or here's what I'm thinking. Because we've been talking way too much about superstition. I myself am giving this too much life.
I know what
Vladimir Tarasenko is 1-1 now when the St. Louis Cardinals are visiting the Miami Marlins when he has an opportunity to win the Cup. I really thought that one was going to pull it through.
I like where you're heading with this.
I think I'm going to wear a Sam Reinhart jersey that I've never seen the Florida Panthers get a regulation win in. I wasn't happy with his effort.
The old Dew jersey.
Yeah, I think this jersey is due.
Wow. Love the Dew effect.
Yeah. Now, Game 7, all bets are off. I'm going with, I wore my closeout jersey. Game 5, that one's a little tainted now. Game 5, who knows? Maybe a brand new outfit, brand new Juju. But I'm going with a jersey that is due for a win and to spark a player that is due to come alive from the slot.
Love it. Dan, what are you going to wear?
He was all excited about, I'm going to wear PK Subban's robe. You were all excited throughout this season about how Montour was playing, how Reinhart was playing, with good reason.
Yeah.
Tkachuk had gone, as I mentioned, 15 games without a goal, but you were celebrating that Tkachuk was good in the last game. But from that threesome, when you think of the best players that the Panthers have, Barkov is at the top. But when you look at
Forsling, Tkachuk, yeah.
when you look at Tkachuk and Reinhart's goal scoring during the season, and how much you guys talked about Montour during the season, those three guys before the last game in Tkachuk, this has been a relatively quiet final for three of the four best players that the Panthers have.
It's a Stanley Cup final. It's been a relatively quiet final for two 50-goal scorers that got most of their goals right in front of the goalie. Zach Hyman on one end, even though he's come alive a little bit recently. I went on the Panther Pourri podcast, and I asked him, because they know puck better than I do, why isn't Sam Reinhart getting to the same spots? Steve Goldie Goldstein has called it his happy place. He scores much of his goals from the slot. In fact, Sam Reinhart, who never really had this goal production before, now again, never played with somebody the likes of Alexander Barkov, and his skill set complements Sasha Barkov's quite well. He shot at 25%. That's an insane clip. Naturally, that's going to come down a little bit in the playoffs, but positioning for two guys in this series in particular that get a lot of cheap goals, get a lot of goals from close to the goalie, that's not available to them. Guys are getting pushed a little bit more to the boundaries in this. So I would really like to see how we spark Sam Reinhart and get him back into positions where he succeeds the most.
One of the reasons that I am so jacked up about what is happening here is I don't believe that I can think of in South Florida history. I'm going to have to give this some thought. I've had some trouble finding the thought of a single individual whose greatness I fear more having to get over on for a championship. Like an individual that I'm watching where I'm like, holy shit, this person is so much better than all of the parts that I see everywhere else in all the sports, right? There have been people I have feared in order to South Florida to get to a championship, but I don't think I can come up with someone that would deserve your fear more than the person that we're talking about here, standing in between you and the thing that you've wanted for 30 years.
Singular players doing that, not so much. Like the most fear I've ever felt in a championship final was against the Spurs, and that was like a true ensemble. Everybody was individually great. They had the greatest coach. That was as close to a tie as I've ever seen. That's the most impressive pro sports championship I've seen my team win because I respected the opponent so much. I think throw my hands up and say, I got nothing for this guy. Jokic last year, I got nothing for this guy. And once Bam got hurt in the bubble and Anthony Davis decided to shoot the greatest he's ever shot from the field, it's like, we just don't have an answer for this.
I was feeling better. Now I'm scared again.
I think we have an answer for McDavid, though. The answer is play Gustav Forsling and Sasha Barkov more, and we'll be all right, boys.
Billboards?
Shut up!
I am indeed going to sit down for the first time all show today, not just because I'm exhausted and not just because Juju shamed me earlier by saying that was lame, but because I want people to see that behind me, that is Juju Gotti on the court in Boston, confetti all over the place. I really don't know. This is one of the great mysteries at Meadowlark, how Juju gets all access to all things that is better than any of the access that anyone else gets. What are some of the other criticisms that you have of today's show, Juju? I was stunned that you wanted less Greg Cote talk. I thought that you were the world's leading authority on wanting simply more Greg Cote talk wherever it is that we could put it.
Nah, it's not that I don't, by the way. It's not that I don't want Greg Cote talk. I want more. I want all of us to be on one accord and know that this is a fantastic idea to put the billboard up. If we don't, brother, we want to make fun of everybody's tears. We make fun of Taylor. We send him on the bus to New York. We make fun of everybody's tears until it's our turn.
So and
weird. This has the potential to skyrocket the numbers, the YouTube numbers, the views, the social media following. Nah, because not my team. You're going to jinx them. That is the lamest thing I've ever heard from other grown-ups in my life, in my opinion. But I love all y'all.
No, I'm with you. But what do I do? Juju, I'm not kidding here. I think people think that some of this stuff is a bit. And sometimes we turn up things that are true at an 8. Sometimes we turn it up to a 10. But the things that generally happen around here tend to be true. And what's happening around here is, as the founder of this company, I don't actually have power over this because Chris and Roy and Mike are going to genuinely be mad at me, genuinely hurt, and genuinely not forgive me for doing what it is that you're saying, which I think is not only a must, I think it's the easiest thing in the world, Juju, for us to risk becoming the big joke at the end. But there's just cowardice all around me, and they are genuinely bothered by the fact that I'm considering any of this. And I don't know what to do at this point because I just want to do it, but they're not going to forgive me. Look at Chris Cote shrinking in his seat right now.
I just don't understand what's the difference. Why can't we do it after?
Because
it's more
one
funny.
Is cowardice and one isn't.
We've never put up billboards predicting losses.
One is brave and one isn't. One risks egg on the face and one doesn't.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? What's the difference?
Them the same people who wanted to put Josh Allen has a stupid face / Billy Gill in the football season. But now it's their team. Now they care about something. They want to be out. I get it, bro. I understand. Just call it what it is. Don't disguise it in, I think it's not funny right now. Don't disguise it in that. You scared. Say you're scared.
I'm very
scared.
Don't
put all on us. We want to make money because we a business. Putting up billboards, bring business for us, the company that y'all spend so many tireless hours dedicated to your life to, missing out on your daughter's functions and stuff, dedicating your life to this job. And then when we can capitalize the most, now y'all care about y'all damn team more if they win or not. I don't understand that from some grown-up men who like money, but maybe y'all don't like money the same way I do, so salute. I love all y'all, though. Y'all my brothers, and if somebody jump on y'all, I'm coming full force.
No, I think that your criticism is fair. I, too, think it is weak, and I think that I'm torn here, Juju, because look at what they're doing to me on it, right? You notice what they're doing. Hey, Dan, at the arena, they're saying F you. You got 7 or 8 pants. You got 8.
People saying F Dan to me. I was at the arena, and somebody said, Dan, you're a bad guy for jinxing my team I love so much that I don't play for it all. I just love them. Oh, my God, Dan, I have to endure 20 whole people saying they didn't like you yesterday while I was spending thousands of dollars on a team I love. What are we talking about? That's why you're mad, Mike. I love you, Mike. But you're mad because you spent all that money. Thought you was going to see the cut that day. Be patient. The cut coming tomorrow. Be patient. Don't turn on the company, though, just because you don't like or you want to jinx your teams.
I actually got the exact opposite of that. I got a lot of people being like, "You're dad, dude." Like, funny. Like, people kind of get it. Like, I didn't get a lot of people genuinely mad. I got a lot of people like, "How funny is it that your dad's at the center of Canadian news?"
Or maybe Mike just a good actor. Maybe he's just selling this bit to the capacity because I underestimate his acting chops.
Nope. This is all real. He has threatened to quit. He says I've already ruined it, and that one Juju I'm so genuinely confused by because I jinxed it allegedly by approving the McOverrated T-shirts on LeBatardAF.com. After which the Panthers won the next 3 games.
You jinxed
the next 3 games and held Edmonton to 4 goals, which is about as much as you can ever do over the course of the season over 3 games. But I legitimately don't know what to do if there is a game 7, because I'm going to have to address this next week. I know people are tired of this, but I'm torn, Juju, between, look at the allegation they're making at me. Dan, you've never been against the South Florida team. I don't know how this becomes against the South Florida team. Like I'm just at a total loss for how that happens, as much of a loss as I am for how it is that this happens with Steve Levy when I didn't have anything to do with this.
Now he's doing it on the biggest stage. Leave buckle up.
Yeah, I'm buckled already.
Don't get me going. He's all world, this guy.
I think overrated. Wait, did someone say overrated? What's going on? Dan LeBatard.
Shut it, Messier.
Overrated. He was so happy to do that too. It's like, brother, salute to them brothers. Excuse me, sorry, man. $10 for me. But yeah, salute to those brothers because at the end of the day, however it makes you feel, this is the height of the hockey world. This is the biggest thing in the entire world of hockey, and they are mentioning our show during that broadcast. If you can't find the cool in that and you're more worried about what he's saying, I don't think you're cut out for this industry, brother. They hated Jesus. Come on, brother. We got to keep it going. And speaking of Jesus on sidebar, it's amazing to hear how much grace McJesus got for a couple of the games during this series because he gets assists and he just does more. But a couple of games in the playoffs, Jason Tatum was receiving a lot of hatred, but he had 11 assists, 9 rebounds, 18 points. I'm sorry, when did that become something to snark at in the finals? 11 assists, 9 rebounds. He's not doing enough at that point. So I'm glad, neither here nor there, but you see how with this grace is being shown in certain places. Aaron Rodgers do some shit, Kyrie do it, So it's like, hey, man, we got to remember what we're saying into these microphones. People can hear and remember. And speaking of such, I told the world, Celtics in 5, we are going to go clean these boys up. Nobody, it's like I said, a tree fell in the damn woods. Because if Amino Hassan had said that, we would set up a dunk tape in Milwaukee for all his haters. If Charlotte Wilder said that, oh my God, we probably have Angela probably couldn't wait to sell those T-shirts. But the kids say it, and it's just nothing. He just. I've been doing an NBA show all year long. The alley-oop. It's been going wonderful. I've had nothing but expert after expert come on and be wronger than me. I told Zach Harper and my sister Claire, this exact thing would happen.
Oh, Luka doesn't foul. Oh, so did the Clippers. The Clippers tried that. The Timberwolves, they were the number 1.
Get the hell out of here, expert who's working for all these esteemed companies, and he deserves it because he's such a great analyst, but not better than your boy sitting here in front of you has been telling you these things all year. You keep paying these folks to come on your show, and I'm telling you it. Just have your boy on. Neither here nor there, but I think Connor McDavid will go down tomorrow against the Panthers.
I think it's both here and there. It is not neither here nor there. It is both here and there. I want to get some of your other criticisms from today's show, but something that I hadn't mentioned about Dallas that I think is interesting because Luka's getting killed, and I don't know how many. I'd read reports about shots to the ribs, shots to the leg, that he needed, pain medicine. Extraordinaire. But one of the things that happens with the finals, because we have to blame the loser, is no joke, the Dallas Mavericks are one of the most improbable teams to ever make the NBA Finals. It is one of the rarest things for a team to make the NBA Finals when a lot of people didn't have them getting to the playoffs because they didn't make the playoffs last year. The idea that Dallas's season would, I know you're about positivity, the idea that Dallas's season would crumble in a heap of criticism when it's one of the more improbable runs that we've ever seen in playoff basketball. Again, Juju, this doesn't happen where teams don't think that a finals team is worthy of making the playoffs. There were plenty of people who didn't think Dallas was going to do anything by returning Kyrie Irving.
Right. And I think it just goes to show you how much those trades at the end of in the middle, like All-Star break, they made the trade for Daniel Gafford and P.J. Washington. Those were the pieces that stepped up early in the playoffs against the Thunder, against the Clippers, against the Timberwolves. Those guys stepped up and contributed in such a way that once you have Kyrie and Luka go off, that plus that equals a W. But when the lights are so bright, some of these folks they getting all this attention for the first time in the NBA Finals. Lively, Gafford, and the gang. Who else? Tim Hardaway didn't even really touch the floor other than that one blowout win when he went crazy. It's like the structure around Kyrie and Luka were the things to me that did not show up this series. Luka, I mean, he did as best as he could, but certain people like myself, I remember you asked me who would I rather face in the Timberwolves versus the Mavericks. I said I would rather face the Mavericks because of this right here. We could attack the only weakness you got that they had, which was Luka Doncic's defense. And he complained to the refs so much. It's like he has a couple of things to grow from, which a lot of people who make the finals for the first time experience. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown a couple years ago experienced it. He had no left hand. Bro, go work on your left hand. Go work on this. You feel me? And then it will happen if you stay dedicated. I think that the Mavericks are in that sweet spot that now that P.J. Washington, Gafford, and the gang, and Derrick Jones Jr., now they feel like, nah, I was in the finals. And I came up short. No. And I feel like moving forward, it will help them. But that Western Conference is so tricky and so amazing, they might not even make the playoffs next year. So I definitely think this loss is going to hurt Dallas the longer we get into the future, it's going to hurt more and more. But some people called it.
You keep coming back to that, Juju. I feel like you're getting plenty of credit in the mirror for what it is that you correctly predicted. What other criticisms do you have of today's show? I am definitely having some difficulty between the people who do like hockey who listen and the people who don't like hockey who listen with the amount of hockey we're talking, because a team they don't care about is a team we're obsessing over.
Bruh, it's so much people. It's so many people in the chat today. I would say 10% of the people who tweeted us took the time out to tweet us. I'm not speaking for 10% of the audience. 10% of the people who took the time and tweeted us, they say that you were wrong, Dan, for all of this stuff. 90% of the people say that Mike need to calm down and realize that this is good for the show. Some of the sentiment we got, you know what I mean? It's so many other people saying that. I don't want to just point out one or two because it's on one accord. I think that we should lean into it.
What should you say to Chris Cote here, who's sitting here? We've got Greg tomorrow. Chris is sitting here, and he's sort of shrinking into his seat because he sides with Mike.
No, listen. I see both sides to this. I just don't see the value in putting it up before the win. Not everyone listens to our show. You act like if in Edmonton, after, let's say we lose this series, if they see a billboard that says Greg Cote was right, like, they're not going to be like, oh, this Levitt. They're just going to be like, these dumbass, did they put it up too soon? Like, it's just,
who cares?
But like,
you know what they're going to say? Look, and you know what's rich, Dan? Coming from him, Mr. Zion's shoe exploding was good publicity. Mr. Everything is good. Mr. Come on, brother. Like, what we talking about, Chris Cote, you my brother, and I hate to do this to you, but you are the exact wrong person to be having this stance right here, my brother. Don't you see it in it?
I get yourself. Any pub is good pub, but it's just like if the pub is these idiots, like what, like
no, we're the joke. Us risking becoming the joke. I'll leave it on this, okay? But the part that annoys me the most about this, genuinely, is everything you're describing, Chris, is my favorite joke. The one only our audience gets. is my favorite joke. The one that people are driving past a billboard and what's wrong with these idiots? I don't have our best joke, the best joke this show does is Annoy Dan. That's the best joke that we do. Lord knows I'm tired of that one. The fact that you guys won't let me make my favorite joke because you're cowards is pretty fucking infuriating.
Exactly. And before we get out of here, Dan, this is one thing from the show today. I have to say this. And when did y'all become the joy police? I'm sorry. Jason Tatum can celebrate however the hell he want to celebrate whenever he win a damn championship. I seem to remember when you signed your DraftKings contract, you went to the roof and popped a bottle of Prosecco with Stu Gotts with his shirt off and your damn daddy. So we can look, some people win championships some way. Some people it like to be around Stu Gotts with his stomach out. I don't know what the hell going on.
No,
y'all gonna be the joy police now. The Celtics are the champions. Deal with it. It's over with. No more.
We definitely sounded like haters during that
sure.
segment. But
For
Juju,
sure.
you have to admit though, we did it. Felt a little forced.
Bro, that feel forced. That's what when you win the championship, you can be as lame as you want to be or cool as you want to be. He made his decision. Wherever the Heat got going on right now, just deal with that. Pat Riley, find somebody help. SOS Code Red, because you're gonna need it next year when everybody better.